Finally. The rock. Just kidding. I think I found my main mouse. Yo, what is up guys? Aaron here. Now I've been shopping around for a wireless ergo mouse for a while now, and a lot of people have been recommending this guy right here. And it's the Kone Pro Air from Roccat. And I just want to say that this is the first Roccat product that I bought, that I've used, and it actually caught me by surprise. So I've been using this mouse for about a week now, and I kind of want to give you guys my thoughts and share my experience and see whether this mouse is right for you or not. So first I want to introduce what's in the box and go over the shape and the design. So this is the box and everything that comes in the box. We've got a USB-C cable, a wireless dongle, a user manual, and of course the mouse. So when I first got the mouse, it reminded me of the Logitech MX518 Legendary, one of my favorite mouses to use. And right when I gripped the mouse, I knew right away that this was the one for me. So the Kone Pro Air is a lightweight ergonomic design. It weighs in at about 75 grams. It is 125.6 millimeters in length. It is 72 millimeters in width and 40 millimeters in height. And although the mouse looks fairly large, it's super light, and it took a second to get used to because I wasn't used to a big mouse being so light. It has nice grooves on the side, easy to grip, and it fits my thumb perfectly. The right side profile also has nice grooves, and my ring and pinky finger don't feel out of place. The hump is more towards the rear and tapers off in width. And I love what they did here because it's the perfect shape and support for my palms. I might sound a little biased, but I'm just the type that doesn't like my lower palm wrist area to rub against the mouse pad. It causes a lot of friction, especially for a lower sensitivity player, so this was crucial for me. The weight distribution is pretty much 50-50, doesn't feel top or bottom heavy. The top of the mouse has a very smooth plastic texture, and it seems like it'll do well against sweaty hands. The sides is made of a ribbed grippy plastic texture, and although it looks the same as the top, once you grip the mouse you can feel the difference. Initially the mouse felt somewhat cheap, but after using it for a while, it's mainly due to the weight being so light. It just kinda gave a cheap feel to it. Overall, I just love the design of this mouse. And after doing so much shopping around and trying out different mouses, I can honestly say that this is the only mouse where I felt right at home. It just felt like I've been using it for a long time. The mouse also comes with a braided USB cable, and it's just okay. The length is good and pretty lightweight. The cable is also pretty flexible, but not as flexible compared to the other mouses that I've used. But it's not a big deal since it's a wireless mouse anyways. However, I will point out that the USB connector in there is like super deep, so you gotta shove that thing in there. Bruh. Now as for the bottom of the mouse, there's a pair of heat-treated pure PTFE skates, and it's buttery smooth. As a low sensitivity palmer, I use a lot of mouse pad, and when playing a lot of FPS games like Counter-Strike, the swiping felt smooth with very little friction. Adjusting to the weight and the overall smoothness of the mouse was no issue at all. There's also a storage slot for your USB dongle so you can take it anywhere you go. There's also a DPI profile button as well as a toggle switch for Bluetooth or USB. And I know earlier I said that the mouse felt kinda cheap, but that was just due to the weight. It's honestly really well put together. There's no squeaks, no creaks. There's just a really good premium feel to it. However, I will say that there is a slight rattle when shaking the mouse, and I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's very minuscule and it shouldn't hinder performance. And as for the clicks of the mouse, they're not bad. They're the Roccat Titan optical switches, rated to last double the amount of Omron switches. And I can't say these switches are better than the ones on the Steelseries Prime Wireless, and if you guys want to check out that review, I'll leave a link down below, but they're still pretty good. I mean, the Prime Wireless was probably the best clicks I've used so far, so it's pretty hard to beat. But the Kone Pro Air still has nice clicks, a tad bit mushy with a bit of post travel, but nothing you should worry about. One thing I do like about the clicks here is that it's not loud. It has a nice sound to it, which I'll demonstrate in a bit. The side buttons are huge, but the clicks is very good compared to others. However, I do see myself reaching for mouse 5 since my thumb is placed right under mouse 4, so I kinda wish they placed the side buttons a little bit more to the front of the mouse. The scroll wheel is on the lighter side compared to other mouses, but the tension is still there. And just like the buttons on mouse 1 and 2, it's pretty quiet, but I do like the clicks on mouse 3 better. It's the perfect amount of tension, and for me, it's super satisfying to use. So just in case you guys are curious, I attached a clip here so you can see what the mouse sounds like. And as for the sensor, the Kone Pro Air is using an owl-eye sensor, which I believe is a modified PAW 3370 from Pixart. And like I said before, this is the first Roccat mouse that I've used, and I was a bit skeptical on the sensor, but my god, this thing is good, like really good. It just felt so snappy and responsive, and my swipes and flicks felt so precise. The sensor has a polling rate of 1000 Hz as well as DPI up to 19,000 DPI, which can be adjusted by increments of 50. Unfortunately, there is no DPI adjusting button. However, you can set up your profiles and adjust the DPI with the Roccat Swarm software. Overall, the sensor surprised me, and it's one of the better sensors that I've used. It just felt accurate and responsive, and I couldn't tell if it's wired or wireless. And as for the software, as a first-time user, I found it very easy to use. There's a lot of customization features such as remapping buttons, creating profiles, adjusting DPI, polling rate, LOD, battery modes, RGB lighting, and even angle snapping. I also like that you can change the RGB lighting to show the battery life instead of having to check all the time. Speaking of battery life, it's actually pretty good. It's rated for 100 hours on a full charge, which seems like the standard these days. Plus the charging on this thing is super quick. You can charge the mouse with the USB cable that it comes with, and Roccat claims that a 10-minute charge will give you 5 hours of playtime. And finally, the price. So I bought this mouse for about $130 US, but I have good news. Amazon is currently having a sale for only $110. So just in case you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below. And honestly, the price where it's at now, $110, is where I thought it should have been priced initially. $130 was just a little bit too steep in my book, but $110 I think is a steal. So my overall thoughts on the mouse. I freaking love this mouse, like love it. And I think it's gonna be my main. You know, growing up such a heavy Logitech user, Steelseries user, mainly the MX518 and the Rival 300, it was hard to find a wireless ergo mouse that fit my grip style, but the Kone Pro Air was just what I needed. Being mostly a palmer and a hybrid claw gripper, my pinky and ring finger did not feel out of place, the grip was perfect for my thumb, and my palms were well supported. And honestly, there's not that many negative things that I can say about this mouse. Maybe the side buttons could be placed better, or a better USB cable, and maybe the clicks could have been a little bit crispier, but that's just a matter of preference. So if you guys are looking for a wireless ergonomic mouse that's fairly large, and you have a palm grip or even a claw grip, I highly recommend this mouse. Anyways, that was my short review of the Roccat Kone Pro Air. And if you guys enjoyed this content, don't forget to sub, drop a like, leave a comment. I'll appreciate any type of feedback that you guys may have. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.